Tonight's guest is world famous in both the singular he and plural they. Globally, the collective they has sold more than 120 million albums and performed more than 2,600 concerts in over 50 countries for more than 34 million fans. In 2008, Billboard declared them the top touring act in the world. In 1996, People magazine listed the group's leader and founder as one of the 50 most beautiful people in the world. And in 2000 named him the sexiest rock star. His music has earned him an Academy Award nomination, Grammy nominations, and has won a Golden Globe. In June 2009, he and his writing partner were inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. As an actor, he has appeared in film and television. The Actors Studio is proud to welcome Jon Bon Jovi. On lead guitar and vocals, Hall of Famer Richie Sambora. On keyboards, David Bryan. On drums, Tico Torres. Ladies and gentlemen, Bon Jovi. With our students and our guests always in mind, I thought it would be a good idea to launch the evening with some music. In the band's current album, The Circle, there's a song called We Weren't Born to Follow. Many of your songs are calls to action. None more than this.
Thank you.
Walking beside the guilty and the innocent. How will you raise your hand when they're calling your name? Yeah, yeah, yeah. We weren't born to follow. Come on and get up off your knees. When life is a pill to swallow, you gotta hold on to what you believe. Believe that the sun will shine tomorrow, that your saints and sinners bleed. 'Cause we weren't born to follow. You gotta stand up for what you believe. Let me hear you say yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. This one's about anyone who does it differently. This one's about the one who curses and spits. This ain't about all living in a fantasy. This ain't about all giving up or giving in. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We weren't born to follow. Come on and get up off your knees. When life is a bitter pill to swallow, you gotta hold on to what you believe. Believe that the sun will shine tomorrow, that your saints and sinners bleed. 'Cause we weren't born to follow. You gotta stand up for what you believe. And let me hear you say yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. But let me hear you say yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. 'Cause we weren't born to follow. Oh yeah.
That's the first time we played that song live, by the way. Right? You're the first audience to hear that song live.
Ever. Or live.
Now that we've heard the band's latest, let's go back to the beginning. This is the first time I've ever had sound effects. John, we'll start with you. Where were you born?
The great state of New Jersey, Perth Amboy, New Jersey. Funny, yeah, and here's a little known fact. Richie, David, and I were all born in the same hospital, delivered by the same...
Same baby doctor brought us
by the
three
same doctor.
into the world. Really?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Dr. Greenberg.
True story.
Dr. Greenberg, you went, Bon Jovi, Bon Jovi, Bon Jovi.
This is already the most unusual evening in 15 years. What is the name on your birth certificate?
John Francis Bon Jovi.
And how is Bon Jovi spelled?
B-O-N-G-I instead of the J, G-I-O-V-I.
Does that mean something in Italian? It does it not?
Good fisherman.
My research tells me that your mother was a Marine. Is that correct?
That's true. My mother and father met in the Marine Corps.
Okay, here's another fact you can check for me. My research identifies your mother as one of the first Playboy bunnies.
True story. Yeah. She was one of the original bunny girls at the restaurant up there.
What grammar school did you go to?
I went to Catholic school until the 5th grade. They threw me out. And then I went to a Catholic all-boys high school, and that lasted about a year and a half. One of the brothers sat me down in the beginning of my sophomore year when I just learned how to play guitar and, you know, found girls. And he said to me in this all-boys high school, you should be like me. Play guitar as a hobby, and, you know, the girl thing, I don't know. And I thought, I've just unlocked the magic of the kingdom, you know, in these two things, in girls and guitars. By the time I was 13, I was just smitten. And boy, by the time I was 16, there was no other career choice. You know, there was nothing else. This was everything, all chips on one number.
What were your instruments when you first played?
Primarily guitar. I played a little trumpet in high school and, you know, in a marching band. I have one of those things with the cotton Q-tip. Sexiest rock star in the world right there. Yeah.
I didn't even know
marching
that.
band.
No, you'll learn a lot
I've known a
tonight.
guy for 27 years. I didn't know he was in the marching band. That's cool.
He was in the band. Were you in the marching
Not
band?
the marching band, no.
Did you study music formally, or was it just listening and playing?
Only in high school, music theory classes, a little bit of vocal coaching. It was something I had to work hard at. And the same with playing.
How old were you when you began playing clubs?
16. The band I was in, the Atlantic City Expressway, Dave was the keyboard player. The drinking age in New Jersey was 18. And so you could be 16 and sneak in.
How was the song Runaway born?
I got the idea for Runaway here in Manhattan at what was the Greyhound bus station over near the Lincoln Tunnel. I recorded it, and that cassette went out to every record company in New York, and I tried every which way to get a band around it, to no avail. But then I went out to a radio station in Long Island. I was able to walk in with this cassette to the DJ. He said, we're gonna do a homegrown record of local talent. Would you like to be on it? Good thing I did it, because the song not only got on the radio in New York, but started to break nationally. Without a band, without a record deal, without a manager, without anything, it was a hit song.
Did you create the band in order to promote Runaway?
Yeah, I called Dave, you know, who was going to school again. Tico was in a successful band that was making records, which was, you know, here compared to where I was.
After hooking up with John, I saw it writing on the wall. So I went home and I says, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take a chance.
And then Richie came to see the rest of us perform somewhere and introduced himself, and then we really hit it off. Subsequently started writing songs together, and the relationship built from there.
Yeah, when I saw John on stage, I just was like, wow, now that kid's a star. I knew it immediately. He had the charisma, he had the chops, you know. I was the missing link. I was the missing piece.
Take my hand,
Okay, the band now exists. David Bryan. Who is Emery Hack?
He was my piano teacher when I was 7. He was a Juilliard graduate, led the NBC Orchestra and Radio for 16 years. And I remember my first lesson, and he showed me a C scale, and he said, come back next week and know it, because don't waste my time. And I went, I'm 7, I just learned how to pee. Well, I got a lot under my belt. I'm like, I'll try. And I just wanted to be as good as he was, and I studied with him every Wednesday for 13 years.
Okay. Richie Sambora.
Yes, sir.
When did you begin playing the guitar?
I didn't start playing guitar until I was 13. I actually started out, believe it or not, on accordion.
Did you?
But I couldn't get no girls playing accordion, man. So actually, I was a utilitarian musician. I kind of was born with a pretty good ear. I taught myself, self-taught.
You and John have collaborated, of course, on many of the group's songs. How did that relationship develop? Did you just say, let's write together, or did...
It was our first day.
Oh, yeah, that was the first day.
First day?
Yeah, yeah. After he had come to see this show, it was the Fountain Casino in Aberdeen, New Jersey. I remember it well. He came up and we talked and we hit it off, and we knew that writing was, of course, you know, the core of anything going forward. So it seemed that we had a very similar writing style, and we started to knock out songs together.
Tico.
Hello.
Hello. What's the name on your birth certificate?
Hector Samuel Torres.
What is the ancestry of your parents?
They were from Cuba. They moved here in 1949.
Weren't you a jazz fan as a youth?
Blues and jazz to me were something that that had a spirit to it that you couldn't touch. And I think being in New York and New Jersey, in this metropolitan area, the freedom in the 60s
Right.
of music, art, everything was just vibrant. And I had to get hooked into that. The freest kind of music in the world, I think.
How long did it take to write the songs and record your first album called Bon Jovi?
No time. The first one was easy. You have your whole life to write the first one. It's the second one where it gets hard.
Do you guys walk into the recording studio with finished work, notated on charts, or does the song evolve in the studio?
One thing that we have always done is we don't waste time in the recording studio. We go in there with songs written. You know, all the chords, all the melodies, all the lyrics are done when we go in the studio.
I'd definitely say 95%.
Yeah, sure. We don't waste...
95%. The architecture of the song, music, lyrics, everything is pretty much written out.
How did that first album do?
Okay. I mean, for the era, it wasn't huge, and it wasn't bad enough that, you know, there was anything to be embarrassed by. I guess it did, I don't know, 400,000 domestically. The second record went gold.
7,800 Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit
That
gold.
one
Yeah.
did very well, didn't it?
Well,
Commercial.
better. It did, you know, it did...
Did you like that album?
I hated that record.
That's what I thought.
Well, just like I said before, you know, you have your whole life to write the first one and then 3 weeks to write the second one. And I think I should have known when we all got into Tico's station wagon rolling down the turnpike to Philadelphia to record it, and we got a flat tire the first day on the way to the studio. We should have just turned around and went home.
decided in New Jersey Turnpike.
All of us sitting on the turnpike in this just
Playing guitar.
pea soup green broken Chevy, right?
Yeah.
Broke down.
Said the hitman on the side.
We all slept in one
67
apartment on,
Chevy.
you know, mattresses on the floor. My father used to bring down the pot of sauce. You know, we'd cook the same pot of sauce. The mildew would grow, and he just moved the mildew over the shit. Yeah. We gotta have those stories.
I must explain though, in that era of that second album, everybody lost their girlfriends, wives, whatever. We lived together.
Yeah.
We made
We was
about
poor.
We made about $30.
We were poor.
We made about $30 each.
Yeah.
And we paid our road crew more than us.
And it was one of those trials and tribulations. Here's the big first record, boom. Second one, uh-oh.
I got you.
And from there, it was what brought us
It's
tighter.
the sophomore jinx.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
sure.
Here at the Actors Studio Drama School of Pace University, we employ a term of art called breakthrough, which means a moment in the actor's development that closes the door on the past forever and opens it to the future. Bon Jovi's breakthrough moment was an album called Slippery When Wet. How did that become the title? It's a mysterious title.
Well, it was, we recorded the third album in Vancouver. God, I'm being so nice about this. There was a lot of strip bars, and in the strip bars, the girls would be totally nude. And in the nude strip bars, there was these showers. And then they would take this soap and they would soap up, and then they would come down the pole, and we were very young and impressionable.
You've answered the question. You've answered it.
And we weren't with any of those.
No. You were too busy making music and going to church.
Exactly.
You saw me at church. That's how it is in a band. One lies, the rest swear to.
Exactly.
Two.
Exactly.
You Give Love a Bad Name was your first Billboard #1 single, wasn't it? When you guys work, what do you start with? A riff? With
A title.
A title. The title.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, in reality, a song is like a little movie.
But titles dictate the feel, which in turn dictates the chord progression and then subsequently the lyrical content.
VH1 has named You Give Love a Bad Name the 20th greatest hard rock song of all time. How did you all feel when the song hit #1 on the Billboard Hot 100?
Oh, you know, a #1 single and then a #1 album. Well, Sioux Falls, South Dakota never looked so good. You know, we were. I remember it very well in the Holiday Inn in Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
Oh, yeah.
You
That
know?
place was rocking that night.
That
More
was.
ways than one. Might I add.
That was a. You know, that's every kid's dream of dreams. I mean, not only to make a record, but to have a #1 record
Yeah.
and a #1 single, and then, I mean, Slippery was that rocket ship to a place that very few people ever get to.
Your second #1 song was what many people consider a classic. It was called Living on a Prayer. It has a classic beginning. What are the first words of that song?
Once upon a time.
Once upon a time. Who are the two characters in it?
Tommy and Gina.
We're a long way from a traditional love song. Tommy's a dock worker, right? He's on strike. Gina's working for her man in a diner. We're in a blue-collar world, am I correct?
Oh, sure. It's who we are. It's what we know. It's where we're from.
I gotcha.
You know? And you can't tell me that you haven't been to a karaoke bar somewhere and sung that song. It's big.
John and I met for the first time precisely 8 years ago tonight. That was at Madison Square Garden in the Concert for New York to salute those who had perished on September 11th and those who had risked and lost their lives trying to save them. Remember that night?
Yeah. We performed Living on a Prayer there that night, and that memory will be with me forever.
Well, I'll never forget it. And I thought it might be nice if you gave our students a chance to remember something like that right now.
Tommy used to She cries every night, Tommy whispers, baby, it's okay. Someday, say we gotta hold on to what we got. Doesn't make a difference if we make it or not. We got each other, that's a lot for love. Give a shot, oh, we're halfway there. Take my hand, make it out sweet. We're living on a prayer. Hold on, radio 9, you live for the fight when it's all you got. Oh, I say, whoa, we're halfway there, yeah. Take my hand and make it out sweet. You know, halfway there. Take my hand and make it out sweet. Sometimes when you're alone, all you do is think. I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride. Wanted, wanted, dead or alive.
Slippery When Wet was the first hard rock album ever to have 3 top 10 hits on it. The third top 10 hit was Wanted, Dead or Alive. This is one of your signature songs also.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah.
The song's authors are who?
You were looking at him. I remember I couldn't sleep one morning, early morning on a bus somewhere around Wisconsin, having the idea for, you know, this story. So when we were writing Slippery, he was asleep at what was then his mother's house.
So John used to come over around noon, 1 o'clock, wake me up, and then we'd go down to my mother's basement next to the washing machines and write.
He played that lick, you know, the signature lick, then and there on the spot, you know, so we had that song written in 2-3 hours.
Wanted, Dead or Alive is associated in most of our minds with the Old West.
Here was this young band of, you know, a gang or a young band of thieves, if you will, riding into town, stealing the money, the girls, and the booze, and leaving before the sun came up. That was the lifestyle of every rock band.
May we meet the cowboy and the song now.
2, 3, ah. spent more of our lives together than we have apart. And that says a lot for any relationship. It's true, though. We've been in this band longer than we've been apart.
When you've written a song, do you take it to the band and say, what do you think of it? Is it just an automatic? It's going to be...
No, we go in, you know, with batches of stuff. You wouldn't imagine how horrific the tapes sound, but we can decipher what they are. You know, you hear this voice. It's not like you sing good when you're coming up with the melodies. You know, you're making funny noises. You got the guitar leaning up on your chest. You know, different songs come from just the way you're sitting. You know, you could be sitting down, and I had my legs over an armchair, and we're sitting there like this, and that's where You Want to Make a Memory came, because I couldn't do anything else but this. You know, and there it was.
Hard to believe, but Bon Jovi's next album, New Jersey, topped Slippery When Wet by giving birth to 5 top 10 singles, the most ever for a hard rock album. With the release of New Jersey, you toured. My research shows 22 countries, more than 232 shows. Oof.
We were burned. We were just dead tired, exhausted. And I was having to sing on top of that exhaustion. Steroid shots had become candy to me. You know, they were just like, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on, until there was no voice left and I was still getting jacked up. I don't look back on that period fondly, no.
When you said goodbye to each other, you didn't know it would be 2 years, but it turned out to be 2 years.
A couple of years, that's a long time in a band's life, yeah.
You wrote a movie soundtrack during that time. What was the film?
Young Guns. I went out to my first movie set, and on that set, my eyes, you know, opened up and spun all the way around, because I saw these guys doing what they love to do. It opened up this great turning point in my life, which became acting.
With whom did you study?
Harold Guskin, private teacher here in New York. He turned me on to the classic plays. He really beat me up a lot. And I loved that about it, because, you know, you went in there with all this kind of, you know, swagger as a rock and roll singer. And in time, I earned his trust. I loved it.
How did the role of Michael in No Looking Back come to you?
Audition process, Ed Burns, New York director, actor, quite accomplished guy here, had me read for him, playing opposite him with Lauren Holly. This was a great opportunity for me, because it was not the lead guy, it was the guy whose heart was going to be broken, and I took the role as a challenge to go into an opposite direction.
Here are Michael and Claudia, the 2 characters. She's been living with him, and she's unhappy, and she arrives home at 5 in the morning.
I can't deal with this, Claudia. Why can't you just be honest with me? Just answer me. You give a damn about us anymore. But I can't hear you. Where were you tonight?
I don't know.
You don't know. You don't know where you were? Or you don't know who you were with? Or you don't know if you give a damn about us anymore? Listen, Claudia, I'm not gonna let you make a jerk-off out of me. There's plenty of other women out there who would show me a little bit of respect. You were with Charlie, weren't you? Weren't you?
Yeah.
How do you feel about it, watching it?
What I appreciated about that scene, and again, maybe the actors will understand it, you know, when I first was doing the blocking on, I remember wiping the table clean and yelling and being very, you know, Godfather-esque. And then in the moment, I was probably exhausted from doing that over and over again. I thought, I'm gonna just go the opposite way here and just show her how heartbroken I was. I enjoyed the craft immensely, because it's never ending, as you know, you guys all well know.
During the band's hiatus, as John was exploring the acting trade, I know that you were all striking out in different directions. David, as we meet tonight, do you have a show on Broadway?
Yes, at the Schubert Theater, which opened up last night. That's why my voice is probably tired.
I saw the show, and it's been a long time since I've seen an audience react like that to a Broadway show. I'd like to congratulate you. Kiko, during the hiatus, didn't you concentrate on something too?
Yeah, I was an artist since I was 5. I just wanted to paint and sculpt.
Is it abstract or figurative, your art?
It's impressionism, but I see people in the way I guess a camera doesn't. So I try to paint that.
Have a Nice Day is a rarity among the Bon Jovi albums in that it actually has a title song.
I never thought of that.
That phrase can be said sarcastically or sincerely. Which way is it meant?
We're from Jersey.
What was the second single of the Have a Nice Day album?
Who Says You Can't Go Home? Richie and I.
That song has a fascinating history. Tell us.
It was our 6th #1. It was also the first #1 on the country charts by a rock band ever, and Grammy Award winning. And there was at the time, brand new, unknown artist by the name of Jennifer Nettles, who released their first record called Sugarland. She did it as a duet with us. It opened the door, and and the rest was history, because it led to the Lost Highway record, and it led to a whole nother foray into songwriting.
Okay, we have now come full circle. We began with The Circle at the beginning of this evening, and we're back there now. What is the album's title saying to us?
To me, the circle is never ending. That represents who we are to each other. And then in a Jersey way, it's very hard to get in, and it's harder to get out.
We are a band of brothers, and we look out for each other,
No
matter what.
Clearly, that's clear. It's in the music. Tonight, we're in the company of a band of brothers. You have said, John, this is meant to be a stadium, turn the guitars back up record, and that's a testament to having Richie at my side.
You bet. You bet. We spent more of our lives together than we have apart. And that says a lot for any relationship. It's true, though. We've been in this band longer than we've been apart. I wish that sometime in your life you have that kind of a relationship yourself with somebody or something. You'd be lucky.
I'll be there for you. These 5 words I swear to you. When you breathe, I wanna be the air for you.
First of all, to make a record, to achieve that one part of your life that was your life's goal and your dream, is an incredible blessing.
We begin our classroom, as always, with the questionnaire that was used by my hero, Bernard Pivot. What is your favorite word?
Sleep.
What is your least favorite word?
Recoupable.
What turns you on?
Women.
What turns you off?
Women.
What sound or noise do you love?
Laughter. My kids laughing.
What sound or noise do you hate?
I don't like sirens.
What is your favorite curse word?
Ditto.
Mine's a little more defined. You piece of
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
I've done pretty much all the things I want to do, but I want to be John.
What profession would you not like to participate in?
Politics.
If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Come on in, you did good. You're all right. Entree.
It strikes me that your God is both Jewish and French.
He is, though, isn't he?
John.
We got one seat left. It's yours. Yeah.
Tico.
Tico, count off the song.
Here are your students.
Bon Jovi. My name's Nicholas. We're not supposed to be fans in this classroom setting, but it's really important to me that you guys know that your music defined the entire first half of my life. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you. That's very kind of you.
On the Slippery When Wet tape, you said that Bad Name was your favorite song, and you said that Wanted was your favorite song. I was wondering if those still held up as your favorite songs.
Everyone at that time is your favorite song, and every album you make is that favorite album at that time. And then time tells a different story. It's amazing to us as dreamers, and I think I could say this much on the behalf of everybody, is that to be blessed, first of all, to make a record, to achieve that one part of your life that was your life's goal and your dream, is an incredible blessing, because how many kids strummed a guitar and wanted to be a rock and roll star, you know, and then to make a record, and then to be here 26, 27 years later is beyond all of our wildest dreams. But to have had written a couple of songs like A Wanted or Living on a Prayer, It's My Life, that have stood the test of time, it is the closest thing to immortality that we'll ever experience, is to have left something that made our mark. And if Wanted or Prayer, or It's My Life, or Who Says, or whatever song it is that song, then good on you. You know, it was worth being tired, it was worth striving, it was worth getting punched, it was worth getting up again and fighting harder to get it again to happen.
To learn more about Inside the Actors Studio, go to BravoTV.com.